you have a perfect storm here in the US because you have all these illegals that are getting government money, and that's about to run out. So they're going to have chaos here and chaos there. I don't know which army they think they're going to use, but even if they have 20 million troops on the ground right now, they're not going to hold a city street. There's no way they can do it. They can't hold a city like, Los Angeles or San Francisco. Maybe they don't intend to. Maybe they're going to send the troops out in the countryside. But I can tell you that they're going to fail at some point. And as that system erodes, it's going to be guys like you and me that are going to pick up the rifle and lead people forward to first secure our neighborhoods, then secure our communities, then secure our towns, then secure our states, and then we'll take the fight to the enemy. But that's how it's going to go. And the piece that people don't realize is that once the first bullet goes down range here, and it will, everything stops. There's no more fucking Starbucks. There's no more trips to the grocery store. There's no more trips to the ER. You have what you have. You fight with what you have, and you better pull your head out of your ass and put your ego aside, because if you don't, it's going to suck for you really, really quickly. And the people that we've imported, the people that they're putting in, they want to put in the military under a draft. These are people that come from countries where they won't even think twice to cut your fucking throat for a banana in your hand. That's the level of violence we've imported into this country.
I've spoken about this several times. I saw it when I was in North Africa as well. The things that are coming into the country right now are basically feral, a lot of them. If they put those things in a uniform, they're never going to be able to control them. You can't control that on a battlefield.
I was getting there. They don't want to. They don't care. They're bullet.
Yeah, I agree. That's not the point of control them. I mean, today I think we found a Chinaman on a base in California. So if you're coming in here in this country to get a job for economic benefits, political freedom, that's what we assume. Why would you risk breaking into on a base and getting caught?
Chinese asset. Okay. That's why.
Correct.
That's absolutely true.
So the bigger piece I was moving towards is that China's big game plan here. Notice how we talk about Ukraine and Russia and Iran and all these other places that need a war. We don't say a word about what's going on with China. Nobody says anything about what's going on in the Philippine Sea, what's going on in the South China Sea. Nobody's talking about it. Why? Because they're all fucking owned by China. So the China's bigger picture, Michael Yon was telling me that he had dinner with these two Nicaraguan generals. And he was saying that the Nicaraguans are openly saying that China's plan is to flood every country on the planet with Chinese and just take over. That's exactly what they're doing. And they have to demilitarize us in order to do it. They know that. But again, there's too many armed Americans. There's too many people like you and I that are awake to what's going on. And there's too many of us that are going to counter what they're doing. And at some point, we're going to hit that midway moment where we'll have some small victory or some decisive victory we may not even recognize at the time, but it's going to throw their whole plan into chaos, and they're going to be retreating from that point on. And the thing that people need to keep in mind is that all of this is a bigger plan. There's no coincidence in any of this in the military. This is a very specific plan to push everybody that has a loyalty to the Constitution or loyalty to America out of the military. And look at how highly effective it's been. It's been the most highly effective operations campaign I've seen in decades. And it's done by our own fucking people.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
At what point do we start saying the word treason?
Yeah,
it is treason.
I was just going to say that.
It is treason.
It's absolutely treason. It is absolutely by every definition.
Absolutely, it is. So here's the question, and Popp, you've been on my show several times. You know exactly what I say.
Mm-hmm.
People on this audience need to realize that there's a line in the sand that everybody has. What's your line in the sand where it's more expensive, more costly to go along with what they're trying to get you to do than it is to pick up arms and break the law? Because that moment is coming. And when it hits here, when it hits you, I'm telling you, it's going to be a wake-up call for some of you, because people are fucking blissfully unaware. Blissfully.
Yes.
My God. Look at how many of these. I'm going to use a knife hand. I'm going to shamelessly use a knife hand. By the way, on a side note, there, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Knife hand ass chewing.
I've
And
done
people
6
are
of them
paying
so
you
far.
for it. I'm like, shit, I could have just gone to my battalion commander's office with a stupid idea.
I've done 6 knife on ass chewings, mostly for fathers to their sons.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Because you know how sons are; they don't really listen to the father.
I
Yeah.
have 2 nephews in my house. Trust me, I know exactly what that's like. Screen door, fucking close it. But when this happens, people are blissfully unaware. They're doing yeoman's work to try and act like everything's normal, everything's fine. It's not.
Yeah, I see a tremendous amount of that here in my county. An upside, I'm an old SIGINTer. That's what I did with SIGINT. So I patrol the electronic whatevers. And I'm seeing a lot more these days of the Gen Z kids starting to wake up to exactly what you're saying. There's a parade basically of young girls going, why are none of the men doing anything? It's obvious that something is wrong. Why are none of the men doing anything? So there's a buildup happening.
Well, like
Isn't
in
that
my case, like I'm old and broken. There's not much I can do. So I'm planning to get out of the way. Maybe I could be like a PR guy, but like with my injuries and I mean that shit's caught up with me, man.
I'll
It's
tell you
not
where you're going
just-
to be, Pop. I'll tell you exactly where you're going to be.
On
You're
the
going to be
front
in a
line.
community training people, and you're going to be back keeping things moving back, in the safe areas. That's where you're going to be, because we're going to need a pipeline of people that are know how to use a firearm, B, know how to use, how to be a medic, how to get them task organized. You could do all that.
Yes,
Right?
I could.
You're
Yeah.
special forces. You could do all you training guerrillas. Wasn't it your fucking job training
It was
guerrillas?
my job. It was my
Well,
job.
fuck,
yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit back and drink beer. I'm not even
this
have
is
a
great.
diet
So
Coke.
what's happening here
Keep
is
going, sir. Keep going.
I'm getting
is good.
berated by a lieutenant colonel.
Fuck's sake.
I'm enjoying the
Mama
fuck.
used to do this to me all the time. It was hilarious.
Pop, get in there and unfuck that lieutenant. Take that goddamn fight to the enemy. Get in there.
Hey, Colonel Z, did I or did I not report every time he had to counsel me? I'd report to his desk in front of his
With
desk like this.
pen in hand. Yes, sir.
This is fantastic.
Where do you want me to sign?
I never, and he always asked me, are you doing this because you want to, or you doing this because you're told to? I'm like, Sergeant Pop, just fucking sign it. I still got a stack of your counseling statements somewhere here in my attic.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're a
You
complete
tell me-
asshole.
Do that all the time.
Oh, yeah. Tom will identify with what I'm about to say, because every battalion commander goes through this. So Sergeant Upty Frats and Staff Sergeant Badats come into my office, and they want to tell me about the best idea in the world. And I listen patiently for the first 2 minutes of their whatever diatribe they're going on. And by the time I'm done talking, they're both at attention. They both have realized that they need to go out, line their pockets with wrenches, walk out in the ocean, and take one for the team, because that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. And I never want them to come back to my office and say another fucking word. Just go tell your first sergeant. In fact, hold that thought. First sergeant, sir, murder these 2 motherfuckers and never bring them back here. Yes, sir. Get out of my office. You know what I mean, right?
That's old
How would
Army
I
talk
identify
right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
remember Colonel Zarumba, and he was the captain at the time. We were doing this big layout, and I was short some water cans, so I got them from the hospital that deactivated in the building. And he's literally going through my hand receipt, and he's like, "Well, you're short water cans." And I'm like, "Sir, there's 8 water cans there." He's like, "Well, no, those are from the hospital unit. Can I see the hand receipt, sir? It doesn't say, 414 marked." He said, "God damn it, just re-stencil them then."
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you got to make shit happen, man. Oh, that's good
that was
times,
typical
man.
SOP. You're out of equipment. You steal the units next to you without them knowing, and then you kind of have to break back into the unit and
It is
return the
not-
stuff so they don't notice.
It is not theft, sir, as long as it remains on Army grounds. It is reassignment.
Correct.
Well, I think
It's not
even
that.
in active duty, we had 1 antenna for 5 battalions, and anyone who we had inspection, they got the antenna. But if we ever had to go to like JRTC or NTC, they finally find out that there's only 1 antenna for these 5 battalions.
That was the good part about SIGINT. We could build our own antennas. We rebumpered a whole 5-ton once, brought it over to Camp Hao in Korea, and took our broken one there and took one of their good ones and just re-stenciled everything. And
Oh God, it's so easy to
allegedly.
It's not reassignment, it's procurement. And the way you do that
That's fair.
is you bring a CW5 into your office and you're like, Chief, I need 2 5-tons, I need a couple of deuce and halves, and I need at least 4 11-19s, and I'm armored Humvees, and I don't want to know where you got them from. You never got this order. In fact, this is just a conversation. I don't care where you procure them from, and I never want to fucking hear that you got them anywhere.
CW5s are like gods, though.
Yeah.
Oh, they do their backroom dope deals, and then you have all the equipment you need, and you never ask where, because at least at the end of that conversation is somebody's going to read you your rights. You just let them go do their thing. And
we had one of those Chief White.
Oh yeah, I had like 26 chiefs in my warrant officers in my battalion, and I never asked them a fucking question about where anything came from ever.
Nope.
I never looked at my MTO once, because I just signed and went, Roger, it was there.
Yeah, MTO, mission training. What does that MTO stand for? Mission tactical equipment.
No, it's God, I've been retired since September. I can't remember that stuff.
Son of a bitch.
Basically,
I just knew what MTO was. I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, it's all the shit you're supposed to have, all the equipment.
Yeah, exactly.
Vehicles are easy though, because you walk over to the maintenance yard. You got to just take a clipboard with you with a piece of paper on, and you're like, yeah, you go stand in front of that one right there. Sergeant, I need my truck back right now. Who's gonna give me the paperwork to sign for this? I need this thing right now. Stand by, sir. What unit are you from? Does that matter? I'm a colonel. I want my fucking vehicle right now. I'm going to the field. Yes, sir. Roger. Stand by. Sign the paper your way. Who'd you sign for? I don't know. Dirk Diggler today. I don't know.
Dirk Diggler.
Vehicle's gone. That's how it works. So
yeah, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Popp for Supporters Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.